The following podcast may have adult humor,
Swear words.
innuendos of a adult nature.
Making fun of me.
That's a given. Everybody looks forward to that. But just know that you have been warned, so you listen at your own eardrum's peril. Hey everybody, this is Richard,
This is Jesse.
and we're with the Blind Nights podcast here. Been a couple of weeks since we had Jesse and myself on here.
I was going to say, did you miss me last week?
No, nobody did. I didn't get interrupted.
Maxine probably missed me.
Doubtful. But we've had a couple of great guests on here.
Yes, you did. I agree. That was
Podcasts. Great group of guys there. And Chad from Hindsight is 20-200. Again, y'all check those out. And I'm talking to another potential guest, if I can get her to agree and get some questions into her. So we will.
That sounds dirty.
Yeah. Well, it's not.
Good thing you put the warning up.
Oh yeah, I do my best to warn other people because we know how we can be. But I want to start advertising the Everyone Games event coming up September 30th and October the 1st from 7 a.m. until 10 p.m. We will have all kinds of different tabletop games as well as some panels, and we will be live streaming it on Twitch as well as there will be podcast versions of it. So y'all be sure to go to the website www.everyone-games.com. Again, that's www.everyone-games.com. There will be a link to that in the show notes, so be sure to check it out. Something else that's in news is I'm stealing a concept from both T and Cleves that they have called the slide. I was on it recently, and where you just talk about whatever a topic. So I'm going to steal it from them. I'm going to claim it as my own idea. I don't care what they have to say about it. But
the way you're figuring out the topics is your idea, isn't it?
Yeah, that is my idea.
Oh, where's that?
Yeah, we'll go with that. So,
what did you guys talk about?
It was supposed to be about barbecues and things like that, which we did talk a little bit about that, but it more or less then turned into stories about whenever we got drunk, which you kind of do at barbecues, and
right, it goes hand in hand.
Yeah, the difference between their barbecues and our barbecues here in the South, at least. So it was very interesting. I'm not sure if they put it up on YouTube yet, but it was a lot of fun. And I want to go over the riddle that I had given everyone the last time that we met. And here's the riddle. The riddle: some are cherished, some are hated, and even if lost, they still remain with you. Do you know the answer, Jesse?
You probably told me, but I'm going to take a guess because I don't remember. Memories?
That is the answer, so congratulations.
Thank you. That's the first one I've legitimately got, with at least if you told me I don't remember, you're telling me.
But see, it just says in there, even if lost, they're still with you, so you may
That's
have
what
found
made
them.
me think of it, yeah.
That is a sad thing, though, when people, go through Alzheimer's or dementia.
To me, like everything, losing your parents or any loved one is awful. But to me, that would be the worst form of hell, or a nightmare would be them slowly slipping away from you like that. Like that just terrifies me.
I've witnessed it 2 or 3 times in my life, and
It just seems so awful.
You're dying a memory at a time. It's horrible, but let's try to keep this on a bit of a lighter note. Our apologies.
Just to comment on memory for a minute.
There he goes, interrupting me again.
No, it's based on what we were talking about. That riddle there.
Me.
I did. I'm sorry. Did you notice that like memories may be bad, but as time passes, like say a breakup, as time passes and you get happy, like you can look back on it and be like, oh, that's a thing that just happened. Like it doesn't feel so sad anymore.
Yeah. I can see that. It's still a horrible thing, and if anybody out there has a loved one suffering from it, our thoughts and prayers
I can't imagine.
definitely go out to you.
Yep.
But we're going to do a quick overview. We're still going to do the environment thing here and monster, but we're going to throw in a bit of a discussion on other stuff in this podcast as well to kind of give you a taste of what I think Jess, we ought to call it the best and worst. We'll give a topic like, say, memories there, give your best memory and your worst memory, explain them.
Oh, okay, okay.
I think that'd be kind of cool. So, yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, T and Cleves, if y'all are listening, I took your idea and made it my own. Stay over there. But our environment is water, which can be, ocean, sea, river, lake, stream.
Tributary.
Yeah, tributary. And me and you talked about this the other day. I say water, which I know sounds like it's spelled W-U-R-T-U-R.
You kind of say it like a New Yorker.
How dare you?
Well, I'm just saying they say it. I just mean like they say it water. Like you don't say it like that, but you say it like there's a D in it, not a T.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a Georgia thing, though. I'm not saying it to be mean.
Maybe you need to clean out your ears. Just got too much earwax in it.
I did that this weekend. Side note, Katie actually has a mirror that goes in your ear so you can see if you got all the wax. She's been sticking it in my ear since the other day.
That is really cool, but really disgusting at the same time.
Yeah, she said it's actually what it's for. She found it on Amazon.
Interesting. But nasty.
Yeah.
But nasty. Yep. Here we are back with Jesse's book review, and, I'm going to give one as well. So, Jesse, tell us your book, your review of it, and why, sir.
All right. Today we're doing my first ever, I think, urban fantasy book. This is called Indexing. It's part of I think it's a duology. I think there are 2 books. I wish there were more. By Seanan McGuire, and Seanan has written a ton of things. You've probably heard of the name.
Oh yeah, really good author.
Yes, but this book is about this agency, and their job is to stop wayward fairy tales. Like basically, in this world, you grow up, you live your life, and then a fairy tale comes to life. That's part of your life. Like say your name's Jack, and a big giant shows up in your house. And their job is to stop these fairy tales and control them so that they don't destroy the world. It is so much fun. It's written like a TV show, like each chapter is a different story. And it kind of ended, but I just wish there were more books in it because it's just so much fun, such a quick read. And I just loved all the characters, loved everything about it. Again, Indexing by Seanan McGuire.
I could go with 2, but I'll go with just one of them because I can remember the author to that one. Nolynn, Nolyn. Maybe 2 N's at the end. By Michael J. Sullivan. I had pre-ordered this book like last year, and you know how it is with Audible when you get credits and you get find some of the other free ones that you can get. They get lost. Well, this one got lost in there, and went back, read it. It started off kind of slow for me, but not slow enough that I'm like, I'm gonna stop this.
I'm done. Right? Yeah.
It was just good enough to keep you interested, and then by the time that you realize that, you're hooked. You're like, oh, I want to see what happens there.
Right.
Sullivan is really good at some innuendos and circling things around, doing little tidbits, little strings of storylines here and there, and weaving them together.
Right. I've actually recommended him on the show before.
Yes. And it's part of that world. It's just like a different segment of that world. Is how I understand it.
That world is so fun.
but he weaves and tells a really good story. And the second book in this, I think it's going to be a trilogy, has already came out. I have not purchased it yet. It is on the wish list, as is lots of other things, of course. But really good book. I recommend that you read it. I can't say that I give it 5 stars though, Jesse.
Right.
I'd give it 4, maybe 4.5, but no higher than that. Only because it starts off kind of slow.
Okay.
You know.
And I guess I never rated my books, but I mean on here, but indexing
I like that concept though, and I was just saying it, without even thinking.
Indexing, I'd give 5 stars. Easy.
Let's see how many 5 stars Jesse does give out.
I usually only recommend books that I've truly loved.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't recommend a book over 3.
Although, yeah, some people think of 3 as bad, but to me, 3 is just, that was fun.
Yeah. Really short book can be 3, but yeah.
How'd you say you spelled that? Nolyn?
It's either Nolyn or Nolynn.
Okay.
Not because I'm not looking at it, and this is just coming off the top of my head.
That's okay.
But yeah, I'm a dude. So Jesse,
yes.
give us a quick scene with water. Choose whichever kind you want.
The boat skims gently over the water. It is a calm ocean. There is no waves to be found. The wind isn't even blowing strongly, which is odd considering the passengers on this trip dealt with a strange storm the last 24 hours. There's a sense of fear gripping the passengers because unlike the evil of stormy seas, in this world,
and I'm going to be that player. How much does the boat weigh?
3 ton. But my mind blank. But unlike in most worlds, in this world, a calm sea means trouble. A calm sea means the monsters are coming.
What color is the sky? Do we have paddles? Do we have
Yes,
rations?
you have paddles. Yes, you have rations. The sky is orange.
Do we have ale and mead?
Of course.
Okay,
What moron wouldn't have ale and mead?
Just want to make sure. I'm going to flip it around and...
That reminds me of the damn tree.
I know, that's why I'm doing that.
That was so much fun.
You stand at your kitchen sink.
Oh.
You're running water in your cup to begin brewing your K-Cup coffee in the morning.
Yes.
It's the best coffee that you've had. It is the Death Wish coffee.
Yes.
Highly caffeinated, delicious. As you turn on the tap, the water streams from the faucet without fail, as it has done 10 out of 10 times in your last attempts. However, you, being unable to see the water, begins to turn a reddish color, and fingers grow out of the water to grab your hand and squeeze, puncturing into your skin, and your blood mixes with the water that is going into your cup, now spilling over to go into the sink, where you hear a loud growl of enjoyment.
I'm letting Katie fill up the K-Cup if it needs, or the Keurig if it needs more water. Fuck that.
Pretty good though, huh?
It was. It reminds me of like something you'd see in like an 80s horror movie. They seem to do like a lot of like wacky things like that.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool.
Ew, now I'm just thinking of like a hand grabbing mine. Ew.
Now
I'm all alone too, son of a bitch.
Oh, you'll be alright.
Well, I'm not actually alone, but I was having a moment.
You always have moments, sir. But let's we're gonna go over a creature that you in a game have had contact with.
Oh.
The giant crocodile.
Oh, the first game we ever played together, I believe. When I swore you were going to kill me.
Yes.
Well, maybe it wasn't the first game. It might have been the second, because I think the first game you just met my character, so I'm thinking it was the second.
Yes.
Which was also the time we met the Bullywogs, right? Wasn't that the same session?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Armor class of 14. And with the hit points, the average being 85 hit points. And I will tell the listeners here that you all chose to go down this path.
What's the CR rating of that?
Let's see.
So I was always curious about that.
It is a challenge of 5.
Oh, okay. We did choose that. I forget why we chose that, but we did choose that path.
Because it was a shorter path, I believe.
Which I learned after you being my DM, don't always take the easy option, because that's where you get screwed.
But sometimes the easy option is like a really easy option with me.
Like opening the door of the windmill.
Yes. The giant crocodile has 2 attacks, one with its mouth or bite and one with its tail. The bite has a +8 to hit and
That's great.
And the hit is 3d10 plus 5. Oh, well, that's a bite. Yeah, that's a bite. And it is restrained if it fails its strength check. Or strength save, excuse me. The tail is a +8 to hit, and it's a 2d8 bludgeoning damage.
You remember the
2d8 plus. 2d8 plus 5, excuse me.
Do you remember the board game when we were kids, Crocodile Dentist?
I do.
I love that. That's what it makes me think of.
I do.
And I think I read a book like that when I was a kid, too, about a crocodile going to a dentist.
Probably did. There's a lot of those little silly kid books.
Yeah, I like that.
But, yeah, the giant crocodile, there's so much you can do with one. You know, and if they're too big, or, you know, your party's having such an easy time with it, throw another one in. I mean, these guys went in there with, like, I think y'all were level 1 or level 2, maybe?
Yep.
And
no, we were 1.
Were you 1?
Yep.
And didn't it about kill y'all?
Yep.
And
all I can picture now is Aurelio riding it.
Yeah, he would. He would definitely.
I miss him. I have to admit, I miss him.
But he was a really fun character. And sorry if y'all hear like me drinking some water in the background, but it's like really hot here, so.
What you're drinking is water.
Yeah, don't make fun of me. I'll mute you.
I tried to. I don't know if it worked or not.
Nope. You got muted,
I don't think
sir.
You've never muted me, have you?
I just did.
Oh.
No, not really. I didn't. I'm just glad you broke up. But the giant crocodile is so awesome because if your party kills it, which, you know, usually they will, not only do you get the crocodile skin, you can have the teeth, you get the bone, I mean, you got the meat to eat, you know, it may be a tough battle for your party, but look at all
your
that you're
level
giving
1
them.
players.
Yeah, I mean, but look what you're also giving them as the DM. You know, a good amount of experience. Not to mention,
I would fashion
food.
daggers out of the teeth.
Yeah, they're really fragile.
Oh, okay.
I mean, in real life, a regular like alligator.
Oh, really?
Teeth. Yeah.
Oh.
I had a crocodile or alligator tooth necklace one time, and
that's
the tooth
cool.
really chipped off like really, really easy.
Huh.
But there's so much you can do there. If you can tame it, you could have a pet that would fight for you. You know.
That would be cool.
Yeah, I mean, Could you imagine that? Like, I would allow it being the DM if you were a wizard or, or a spellcaster that could have an animal to call. And
Oh, it's your familiar.
yeah,
Awesome. I would do that. That's awesome.
that would be. I would absolutely love it, and I would definitely allow it.
Me too.
Yeah. So, a lot you can do there with that. Not to
In
mention
the end, it's all
just
about fun.
Yeah, it is. And as I've told the interviews I've done here recently, and I've told you all, that's my number one rule is have fun. And if you're not having fun, you need to figure out what to do to make it fun.
What would you name your alligator or crocodile?
If it was
an obvious answer.
If it was a crocodile, it would be Dundee.
Oh, I was thinking Leatherhead.
That might work.
Was he an alligator or a crocodile in Turtles?
I believe he was a alligator.
Okay.
Yeah. I'd only named the Crocodile Dundee because I think they were 80s movies or early 90s.
I need to watch those again. I haven't seen those since I was a child.
Mate. I don't know. I might name the crocodile or alligator Irwin after Steve Irwin.
Yeah.
I never watched them when they were new, but like going back and looking at them, they were really
I've
cool.
seen them here or there. Yeah. And it's so it's awful and tragic the way he died. How rare that is.
Oh yeah. Good shows, informative shows.
It's cool that his daughters kept up his work though.
Yeah, especially after everything that happened with him.
Yeah.
But but overall, you've got to have fun, challenge your players.
Yep.
And things like that. So let's we'll just go over a little quick best and worst of to kind of give you all a little taste of it. And speaking
with our water.
Yeah, exactly. But speaking of board games, what's your best board game and your worst board game?
Best for me, it's classic, but I think I'd have to say Canyonland. I used to love that.
Oh, that is a fun game.
And worst, just because it's not actually board, but I think it counts just because I could never figure out how to set it up or anything, was that Mousetrap game.
Dude, that was oh, okay. Yeah.
Does that count as a board game?
Yeah.
I just remember it had tons of pieces that I could never figure out.
Fortunately for me, I was sighted whenever I was a kid.
Right.
My best games, it's a toss-up between Candyland and Mousetrap.
Candyland's just so simple but so fun.
Yeah, Mama hated playing Mousetrap because it was a lot of work to set up.
Was it fun though? Oh, I guess it's your best game, so it must have been fun.
It was a lot of fun for me. And I'm going to say that this is the worst game only because I never really got to play it. I had it, but didn't have anybody that would play the game with me. Was the game Risk? Where you controlled armies and tried to conquer the world.
That sounds cool, but I never played it.
I never did get to play it. Wanted to, but
Do you remember the game Kerplunk?
Oh yeah, loved it too.
I love that too.
And there was a game called Jenga.
And Don't Break the Ice. I love that as well.
I never did play that one.
That was fun.
Let's see, Hungry Hippos.
Never played that.
Trouble was a lot of fun.
Jenga's the one with the block, right?
Yes, that you stack up and then you have to pull one out and put it back on top. I mean, I could see blind or visually impaired people playing it, but it would be really difficult. It would really help with dexterity and learning to touch and see with your hands. So, I also loved checkers and a game that me and my granny played called Giveaway, which is a checkerboard, but it's the exact opposite of checkers, and you try to give all of your pieces away.
Oh, that's cool. I used to love checkers, but I don't remember how to play. No, it's been years.
You try to take all the other person's.
I remember that, but I forget what you did, how.
Ah, gotcha.
I had a Braille checkers game when I was a kid.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I loved it. What about chess? Did you ever play chess?
No, but I've always kind of wanted to. I've wanted to learn.
I know there's some accessible ones out there.
There is, and I've always thought about it, but I've never.
Yeah, I never figured out how to play it. I won a game one time on the computer. I was just clicking places, and it said checkmate, and I'm like, I win.
Holy shit!
Yeah. But I love games of all kinds, and we're going to leave this topic on the table of topics, so we can like dig deeper into the games and things like that.
What if there's an accessible Risk game?
I don't know. I may need to look that up.
Yeah.
That could be lots of fun. But I guess that's really about it for this episode. Thank you everybody for listening. Give us a rating and a review on whatever podcast format you listen to us on. It really does help. I never thought I'd be the one saying that, but it does. And as always, remember to like, share, and
subscribe with
cuts
water
out every time. Subscribe.
This episode is brought to you by the Knights of the Braille and is made possible through the support of viewers such as you. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to get all of the latest information and episodes. Thank you.